Hey guys, we are in the basement, and today guys, on this episode of John's Arcade, we're gonna do like a pinball tech video. Yeah, we're gonna revisit the Ghostbusters Pinball Machine in this video, guys, and we're gonna put some bling on it. So, if you guys saw the last video, we installed the shaker motor on our Stern Ghostbusters. That was a pretty easy install, and I think a necessary install. That was like 150 bucks. Not cheap, but it really added a lot of extra depth to the game. So in this video right here, I want to put this on right here. Okay, what is this? This is inner artwork for the game, guys. Yeah, we're gonna put this on, and it's gonna make like the whole inside of the game, the sides, look like the Ghostbusters city. Now Stern sells this. It's $75. This is an officially licensed, Ghostbusters product made by Stern. Actually, a viewer sent this to me. He actually asked to remain anonymous, so I want to thank you. You know who you are. But yes, it's a $75 set. You know, it's very similar to like control panel overlay material that you see on an arcade game. I mean, we certainly have dealt with this type of material a million times on this channel, but we've never put it on the inside of a pinball machine. And I gotta tell you, I'm a little worried. I really am, because I don't think this is gonna be that fun, to be honest. I've been kind of putting it off. But I grabbed some stuff that I thought we might need for this install. And so I got my Rapid Tack, okay, which is this is a cleaner and application fluid for decals. It's what the car guys use to put like vinyl decals on cars. I grabbed my little squeegee. We're gonna need that. I got some scissors. I got some masking tape, okay, and I got some clamps, okay? And I think this is what we're gonna need to do this. Now, there's no instructions. I didn't get any instructions. I don't know if Stern sends them with instructions or what, but I didn't get any. So, but anyway, let's kind of just get to work here. And yes, I am enjoying thoroughly the Ghostbusters Pinball Machine. I really am. I love the game to death, guys. And it's hard. It's hard and it's deep. And mine's been performing well. I have no complaints at all. I really don't regret this purchase. It was far from cheap, I'll tell you that much. But we sold a couple games to kind of justify the expense. But I'm totally digging it. And I'm kind of getting into this whole mod thing. But tasteful mods. I want to do like the official mods, okay? And I have to tell you, we're gonna be doing a topper video. So, it's gonna come after this video, but I ordered a topper directly from Stern. They actually gave me a bit of a bro price, and that should be here in about a week, so we're gonna be putting the topper on. And it's even with the bro price from Stern, it wasn't cheap. But anyway, that's not what we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna put the inner art on, and again, this inner art is basically gonna go on the sides here, okay? So it's gonna go on the inside, left and right, okay? And basically, it's gonna look like this. Well, this is the other side. Let me grab this here. It's gonna go on like this right here, okay? And it's gonna go down, and it's gonna basically extend the kind of city motif that's on the back there all the way to the sides, okay? You guys can see that there. Now the glass is on, it's kind of hard to see. And actually, let's kind of just get the machine out and remove the glass, because we're gonna have to basically lift the playfield up, pull the game out. We need to be able to get to the sides completely, both sides. So, yeah. So actually, should I turn, yeah, let's turn the game off. So I'm gonna turn the game off, the switch is up here. And let's remove the glass. I'm gonna turn this light on, actually. Way better. Okay, so let's remove the glass. And I always reach for the little clasp as if it's a Williams game. It's not. It's got these two little kind of buckle type things, again, just like they used in the arcade games. And let's remove our tempered glass here. We gotta be careful. And we're gonna have to pull the balls out, because we have to lift the playfield up. And probably gonna have to pull the game out too. We'll see. Yeah, we're gonna have to. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do this side without pulling the whole game out. The thing is, I got the game so level right now. But let's lift up the playfield here, and let's manually eject the balls, okay? And you just kind of come in here and just manually move this solenoid, and this game takes 6 balls. I don't know if I've ever engaged the 6-ball multi-ball, which I think is the hysteria mode. I think I might have, actually. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 balls are out. Okay, so the balls are all out, and I'm gonna go ahead and just drag the machine out a little bit. I think it's gonna help our cause here, because we really need to get to the sides. I'm not sure if this is gonna be easy or hard. I'm kind of leaning towards it's gonna be annoying, but we'll see. So let's pull the game out like that, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and lift the playfield all the way up. And again, we remove the balls. I'm really not a fan of this Stern hardware compared to the Williams stuff. So let's go ahead. So we've got the playfield all the way up. And you can see, we're gonna have to do like one half at a time with the play. I mean, really, I guess the easy way to do this would be to remove the playfield completely. And boy, can we do that easily? There's two Molexes right there. Yeah, I don't know. That seems a little risky. Does this just lift up? Yeah, it does. Boy, that would be easy if I removed the playfield, huh? I don't know. Do I want to get involved in that kind of action? That seems a little risky here. Boy, it really does look like it's just two Molex connectors and then a whole playfield comes off. Really? Let's see. Does this just lift up? It does. You know what? I think I'm going to remove the playfield. Let's go for it. What do you guys think? Does this seem crazy? I think it's going to really make our life easy if I remove the whole playfield. Thing's not light. All right, so let's disconnect this Molex here and this. Let's see. Is it that easy or no? No, it's not. There's another. Let's see where this goes. No, I don't think it is going to be that simple. I'd have to disconnect all of that. I don't know. That makes me a little nervous to start screwing around with that. But let's. It's tempting. It really is. But I don't think I'm going to do it. Let's see if we can do this without removing. Boy, this. You know, I'm looking at this. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Because. Let's kind of just line it up and see how this is going to work, right? Because we have to get through here. And the playfield is in the way. We can kind of create a slight void here. Because it's going to go basically like this. And we might be able to do this. So it looks like it's going to go on here just like so. Maybe this isn't as bad as I'm making it out here. What do you guys think? Should we just start this side? So there's a hole back here. See this little hole right here? And that lines up with the hole in the back. And I'm wondering if maybe we line up the back first. Let's try this. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put the playfield like that. So if I go like this, and then we come on the other side here, and then if we just line this up, with that hole, see that hole right there? Boy, there's not an easy way to do this. Huh. All right, so like that. And then we line it up with this hole right here. And then line up the artwork itself with the top groove. Yeah, maybe we'll do it like this, but we'll do the back first. And so I'm gonna lift the playfield up again. And we'll do the back, and we'll use that hole for that bolt as the guide. What do you guys think of that? Boy, it would be pretty awesome to remove the playfield, I'll tell you that. But this playfield is in the way now. I knew this was going to be annoying. I totally knew it. I think that we need to do the front first, and then line it up with the back while we do the front, and then tape it down, make sure we're lined up in the back, and then just start it on the front, lower the playfield. But let's think about that. Will I be able to lower the playfield when we remove the wax paper? I don't think so. Or do we just go for it and just pop this playfield out of here, which is really gonna make our life simple, right? Boy, I really wanna take that playfield off. What to do, what to do, what to do. So the playfield, we have 1 Molex, 2 Molexes, and a bunch of zip strips. And then it goes up in here. Oh, I see, this is that Ethernet cable for the node boards. And that goes back here somewhere. Oh boy, it goes to the front of the cabinet from there. So it goes to the back and then to the front. All right, let me think about this. All right, let me show you what I figured out here. So I took some clamps, okay, and I clamped the artwork to the cabinet. I put some paper towel under the clamps to protect the sides. I'm actually not that worried about it, but just in case. And I'm just kind of lining this up. I want to be just a little bit below this line here, because this is where the glass goes, and I don't want to interfere with, I don't want the artwork to interfere with the glass at all. So I'm just going to try to be a little bit below the edge of the cabinet before the glass channel comes in, okay? And then let's kind of look up here to see if we're lined up with that hole, okay? And so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's that little hole right there, right? And so I'm gonna put the camera over here, and I'm gonna go on the other side and see if I can. The thing is, I can't really like see it. Actually, I'm gonna clamp it down and see if we're lining up with that hole. And I'm gonna take a paper towel again, just put it over my clamp, just to protect the outside of the game. So let's see how we're lining up here. I can't really tell. So like that. Sure seems like I'm pretty close. So let's take a look here. I mean, basically, once we get this lined up, we're kind of home free here, but it's really tough to see what's going on here. Yeah, see, I'm way off. I need to come up and back a little bit. Can you guys see that? It's really tight. Boy, this is really not easy. I really should take the playfield off. I don't want to. There's too many wires. It's all neat and zip stripped. I can't do it. I just can't. Once we get this thing in a good spot, it's gonna be pretty simple to do. It really is. It's just getting it in that right spot initially. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the clamps and just kind of line it up. It's hard to film, so I'm just gonna try to line it up the best I can so that hole in the back is right on that bolt. Okay, I think I have it actually really lined up now, and I'm gonna show you something I figured out here. So the back of this, which goes in the back of the cabinet, this will actually butt up against a piece of wood back there, okay? So basically I just pushed it as far back as it would go, so this was up against the piece of wood, and it appears now that I have it in a good spot. And let's just kind of take a peek here and double check, and again, this is super tight, but, so it's right there, and then if I were to bend this back, yeah, I'm totally lined up with that hole now. I can come up just a little bit, but it's really close. And I'm gonna actually go ahead and just double check my work here, and just kind of check out the edge and make sure it's even all the way across, okay? Because, I mean, honestly, you know, if I'm off a little bit here, you know, you're not going to really notice it at all. But I just want to make sure that we're relatively straight here. And we totally are. Yeah, we are. We're straight. I think we can come down just a smidge. Like, just a tiny bit. That looks pretty good, guys. So I'm gonna go for it. I am. I'm gonna go for it. And I'm just kind of double checking here. And the back lines up with the wood. So we're gonna just go for it. And so I was gonna do the wet method, and I've changed my mind. Normally when I apply these decals, I use Wrap Attack, and which again is this stuff here. And I use this for side art. I don't always use it for CPOs. It's a great product, and it really makes jobs like this a little more forgiving because it helps with air bubbles. But I'm not gonna spray that in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this started, and then we're gonna come in with our scissors and remove the wax paper. And so basically we got to be careful here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove part of the wax paper up until the first clamp, and then we're gonna get it started. And then where's my squeegee here? And I'm gonna use this little felt squeegee here to kind of rub it out and get all the bubbles out as we go along. And I suspect, because this is a pretty good quality material, that we're gonna not have a big problem with bubbles. But who knows, anything's possible here. So let's go ahead and just get it started. Okay. And just real light touch here. And you know, this is decent adhesive, but you know, you get one shot at this. If I screw this up, I screw this up. And this is a don't screw it up, is what I'm getting at here. Okay, now I actually created a problem for myself, I realize. Oh my god, I totally did. Boy, this is really tough here. So now it's like, okay, well, how do we get to this wax paper? Because I got this whole thing clamped down. So I'm going to have to just make sure this is really on here well. We're going to undo this. All right. I think we can make this work. So I got to feed this back through. Okay. And now I want to kind of go to about... So guys, I've never done this before. I don't even know what's going to happen here. So we got to peel it back to about here. So let's peel it back to here. And let's get our scissors. Get our squeegee. All right, here we go. So can you guys see what's happening here? So now, now we got to snake it through to the other side. And I think lower the playfield. I knew this was going to be hard. I totally knew this was going to be horrible. Is this going to work? I wonder if I could lift up the playfield and rest it on the bottom of the cabinet. That seems dangerous, man. I'm just curious. So if I snake this through carefully, okay, to the other side, right? Very carefully. Okay, so that's good. It's in position. So now if we lower the playfield, what does that give us as far as access on the back here? It's going to be crazy tight, right? Maybe not. Let's see. This is not going to work. Guys, I'm just doing this on the fly here. And it's hairy. I'll tell you, it's hairy. It looks really cool, though. You gotta admit. All right, here's what I did. The playfield's like super vertical now, it's carefully leaning against the back box. So let me try it this way, because I can now go all the way to here. And I probably should have cleaned this surface before we did this. Don't be a John, guys. All right, so I'm gonna just put a little wrap attack on here and just wipe this down. I should have done this first, but whatever. I was too excited. All right, let's see what happens now. Because we can go all the way to here now. Now I know why I was putting this off. I knew this was not going to be fun. So we can go, wow, we can almost get the whole thing right now. So we can go to here. Yep. Just go ahead and cut this paper off. This stuff is going on pretty nice, though. It's a very good quality material. Again, it's almost identical to what they use on arcade control panels. All right, so now we're here. Now what? So let's snake this through the other side. And then let's see if we can put the playfield in such a position that we can get the back, the last 6 inches here, which is all we need to get. All right, I'm just snaking this through here. Boy, that's tough. I bet you right now someone is yelling at their phone because I'm overlooking some obvious, easy way of doing this. All right. Boy, this is hairy. All right, so let's... All right, we gotta figure this out here. So that's as far back as we're gonna go. All right, there we go. Oh, this sucks. So, God, this whole playfield, I can just lift it up and just put it down. All right, let me think about this. All right, I figured something out. I got 2 words for you. This sucks. This absolutely is not fun, okay? It's awkward, and unless you remove the playfield, I don't know how you would do this without causing yourself tons of stress, which is what I'm feeling right now. Okay? So basically I got this piece of the artwork past this, okay? I had to get it through there, and it was super hairy, okay? And then I basically pulled the playfield out, and I have it leaning on Tapper right here. See the legs on Tapper? So now there's totally enough room now for me to finish this off and not really be touching anything. So, and by the way, I want to show you guys this. I did not do this today. I did this like a couple weeks ago because I was lifting up the playfield, and this hardware is so bad compared to the Williams stuff. Basically, I got the playfield like just hung up in this stuff, and I couldn't get the thing down, and I scratched up the side rails. Whatever. Whatever. I did it over here too, by the way. But so far, I haven't caused any damage today. But basically, before when we were trying to get the artwork through here, it was getting hung up on this. It was curling in and hitting the library. So anyway, I think it's in an okay position right now where I can finish it off. But my God, that was hairy. I'm not kidding. And now we got to do this on the other side, which is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I knew this was going to be just horrible. I want to actually hear from other guys that have done this. How did you do this? Is this how you do it? Is this what you did? Stress yourself out beyond belief? I'll say this though, I did a pretty okay job of lining it up, I think. And it's going on really nice and bubble free here. But we got one more side to do. And I think we'll try the other side starting from the back, just because we have the playfield in such a position now. Alright, well this is going on fine now. And I didn't damage it or anything, so it was just hairy. Oh my God. That sucked. Okay, it's on. It looks good. It's really nice and even too. You know, it's a little bit off on this hole here, but it's straight all the way across, and it's pretty much within 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch of the back wood block here. So, all right, that side's done. Now we gotta figure out how to do the other side. All right, I'm trapped back here, by the way, because of the playfield. So let me get over there and we'll figure this out. All right, I got the game back a little bit. I got the playfield up now. So, I mean, I think this side's gonna be a little bit easier because there's less stuff on this side. Because over there is the library, and that's where we were kind of getting hung up on when I was trying to feed it through. So this side seems to have far less stuff. So I think this is gonna go a lot easier. Now, there's this little piece of metal here, and this actually totally lines up with it, I've noticed. So you can kind of rest that on there and then put that in the back. All right, let me pop off this little hole here. I think this is gonna go a lot simpler now. Now that we have that behind us, and we are experienced, God, that was, I'm not telling, I was ready to cry. All right, I'm touching the back. Okay, so right now, I have my hand on the back, and I'm lining up the artwork with the back, and I got this little thing right here, and I got my hand on the little circle hole, and I'm just kind of checking how we look, and I think that's it. Okay, I double checked the work here, and I think we got it in a great spot. So I'm gonna trim this to about here, I think. Let's think about this. No, let's trim it. Let's go as far back as we can. So let me get the wax paper off here. Oh, come on. Can't get this started. I think this is gonna look really good though. But just super stressful, my God. It was just, that was horrible. Oh, come on. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. So let's get our scissors. Actually, let's clean this a little bit first. I got that started. I'm gonna take some of my Wrap Attack and some paper towel and just wipe it down. I mean, it's definitely not a bad idea. I love the way this smells, by the way. It's vanilla-y. All right, let's go back here. Okay. Scissors. I'm using righty scissors trying to cut lefty, and I'm righty. Okay, looks good. We're right lined up. Okay, so that's started. So now we could pull this off, and let's think about this here. So can I? Yeah, let's make the playfield like really, really erect, because that's what I did last time, and I can get a little bit more of that. And that clamp in the back, I'm not sure if that's gonna be in the way. Here we go. So actually I have to undo this clamp and then slide the artwork through. So let's undo this clamp and then slide this back through. So now we can do this much more. And let's get our paper off. So let's go to about right here. And get my scissors. All right. Okay, so now I gotta feed this through the other side. And this was a problem on the other side because it was getting hung up on the library, and we don't have that problem on this side. All right, so we're getting the hang of this now. Okay, so now I want to just pull the playfield out and rest it on the tapper. And if you don't have a tapper, I don't know what to tell you. You need a tapper to do this. So I recommend getting one. It's a great game. All right, so let's go like this. Carefully lower the playfield. Got to keep it centered. And all right, so we gotta come back here, get this unhung up here. We're doing okay. All right, so we're unhung up. So let's see if we can rest this on the tapper now. This is a pain in the butt. All right, we did it. We're in a good position now. So now we can finish it off. I'm trapped on the wrong side here. Let me crawl under the machine and pop out the other side here. Oh my God, guys. I'm telling you, I kept putting this off, and I'm like, I know this is not going to be easy. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's not going to be easy. I kept saying that to myself, and I was right. All right, let's get the paper going here. I kind of have a technique now. If I ever have to do this again, which I don't want to. All right. All right, we did it. We're home free now. This is nice material, though. I'll give them that. Goes on really simple, really easy. No bubbles, no nothing. Look at that. Like butter. All right, we survived. The game survived. I didn't spray any Rap Attack down here. Oh, well. Oh, my God. That was horrible. But we did it. So, all right, so let's put this back in here. And you got to just kind of like go, It's really graphic, jarring how you have to do that. All right. Oh, how does it look, by the way? I love it. Look at how great that looks. What do you guys think, huh? All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna slide the pinball machine back, and let's turn the game on and really admire our handiwork here. That was hairy. I'm not gonna lie. That was not fun. A little stressful, especially with this, new expensive pinball machine. But boy, for 75 bucks, that really makes that thing pop. So, all right, let me clean up and we'll come right back. All right, guys, we're all cleaned up. I got the game back in its hole. Let's turn it on and want to play a game, but let's kind of check out our work. I want to see it all lit up with our inner art and stuff. We'll drop our 6 balls in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me turn the lights off here. So she's booting up, and hopefully it still works. I did plug the playfield back in, right? Yeah. So look at it. What do you guys think? Does that make a difference? I think it actually really does. I think it looks cool. It really pops here with the library, with the cityscape behind it. I wonder if I can get just like the 3D library building, because like the LEs or the premiums, one of them have like this 3-dimensional library that goes right here. I don't know if it does anything. Does it just light up? I don't know. But this looks really sharp. It really does. It looks like it should have been there all along. And honestly, I don't know if you can get this as an option. I'm going to tell you, if Stern will install this for you, I would say have them install it, because that was a little hairy. I think it would have been a lot easier if I had a friend here that could kind of hold the playfield in different positions as I was doing it, but that really wasn't that fun. But you know what? It was well worth it. I'm really liking what I see here. So, and by the way, thank you to the viewer that sent me this, because I totally dig it. The game's popping now. So we have the city there. There's like a ghost over here and stuff. See that big ghost face? There's like a ghost ship out here in the harbor, or wherever that is, the Hudson River. And then let's go over here and look. There's another ghost there coming in, and then the cityscape and all the little ghost lines, and then in the back there is the rest of that kind of cityscape. So it just kind of all blends together now. All right, let's play a game. Let's play one game, and then you guys want to hang out and do some viewer mail too. And let's give it a shot. I turned the overhead light on. I don't know. Is that better? Okay, so we got our shaker motor now. Now we got these. I don't know if the game's still level because I moved it. I had it in a good spot. Let's see what happens here. This game's really sensitive to level. And by the way, we were kind of figuring out the whole skill shot thing. It's actually pretty good how it works. There's two different skill shots. Little by little, I'm learning the rules here, but I'm far from good. So right now, I just basically want to start the ghost thing. They spot you for the ghosts. If you hit it once, then Slimer comes down, and you spot the ghost mode. You're trying to collect ghosts, and as you get the ghosts, this thing fills up down here. So you can see when you get 20 here, it lights Tobin's Spirit Guide, which is a mode. 40 lights Negative Reinforcement, which is a mode. 60 lights Start Loopin' Supers, which is a mode. 80 starts the PKE Frenzy, and 100 goes is Mass Hysteria Multi-Ball. And then it goes into these wizard modes after that. We saw, we kicked it, you know, and we're ready to believe you. But right now, let's... Oh, I didn't register that Slimer hit.
Listen, smell something.
So, it's interesting. I hit the Slimer target, but it didn't register it. Let me just make sure. All right, it's fine. So my Slimer is very sensitive. You have to hit him right on the money, otherwise it doesn't register. And I don't really hate it because it kind of makes me get better at aiming, but I'm probably going to adjust it. I know there's people talked about how you can move one of the wires to the middle. Because I have the original Slimer mech. They've since updated it, and you can tell by looking at the top of it, mine doesn't have the wire coming out. But I guess we could remove these two little nuts here and then just move one of the wires to the middle. Because I guess a Slimer works kind of like a tilt bob, his general functionality. All right, so we got rid of them. So now we gotta get the Scoleri brothers, and basically that's a timed little mode. Once you get one, you have a limited time to get the next one. And if you don't get the next one in time, the other one comes back. And see, he came back. I just got him down again. So we gotta get the fat one. Let's get Nuno. There we go. So we got both of those. So right now we've gotten 20 ghosts. And we lit up Tobin's Spirit Guide, which I'm not sure actually where that is. So if I go up this ramp right now, I'll get super jackpot. Let's see if we can do that. I don't know. All right, we got it. So we just got the super jackpot.
Triple Super Jackpot!
Oh, no. Shoot again, please. All right.
Extra ball.
All right, so we lit extra ball here if we get in that scoop. I don't know if I can offhand that one. No, damn it. Anyway, you know, this isn't a gameplay video. Oh, I'm still going. I thought the game was over. I stink at pinball, I know. Let's see if I can get that extra ball. Come on, let's get the extra ball. That scoop is actually hard to hit. This right here. We lost. So yeah, we did it, guys. We played a game. We got the inner art on. I think it looks pretty sharp. And let's kind of admire our work again here. What do you guys think, huh? Yeah, I think it looks great. I really do. All right, well, let me put the glass back on. Let's hang out for just a little bit longer. Let's do some viewer mail. What do you guys think? Man, I like this game. I really do. So, all right, let me print some viewer mail. Let's hang out. All right, guys, we got it all buttoned up, and let's do some viewer mail. And actually, I got to show you something. My Robotron died during this video, and I just played around with it. I don't know what's up with this thing, and it's like every time it does this, I play around with the battery, and eventually I get it to boot, and then it's fine for a week, a month, 2 months. I don't know what's going on. There's something up with the Robotron right now, and if I plug it in right now, it's a black screen. And this happened last time, and I let the game sit overnight, which obviously makes no sense, but I let it sit overnight, and I came back to it the next day, and I started fiddling with it, and I got it to come back up, and I put a battery in, and it was fine. So I don't know if the battery's dying and the ROM is getting corrupted. I don't know. There's something really weird going on with it, and it's nonsensical. So right now, I got Robotron down, and I got Tempest down over there. And Tempest, I've been putting it off, but we got to get to work on that because I can't have games down here. So anyway, let's do some viewer mail. You guys want to hang out for a little bit? And by the way, that was not fun. I'm not gonna lie. So, did I do it wrong? Honestly, I want to know because I did not do any research. I was going to Google it and I didn't. I started coming up with a plan as we were doing it. But if you guys have or know of a better way to do it than the way I did it, I'd like to know. I mean, my way did work, but it was really hairy, and it would have been a lot easier if I had two guys down here. If I had a friend to kind of hold the playfield as I moved it along and then get the playfield out of the way, that would have been a lot easier. With one person, that wasn't fun. So you know, especially again, it's such an expensive thing to be banging around and all that. So I recommend doing that with two people if you're gonna do it. So, all right, let's do some viewer mail. This one's from Paul. And by the way, if you want to participate in the viewer mail, you got to email them to me at blkdog7@gmail.com. I know. You know, I've been getting a lot of comments about the popcorn machine lately. You guys love the wobbling. I also had a guy telling me that I need to clean it out because you're right. It's got some kernels in there. And I do need to clean it. I just dump it out and then like Windex the whole thing or rinse it out or whatever. So anyway, moving on. This is from Paul. BLK, by the way, dog7@gmail.com. BLKdog7@gmail.com. Subject line, you have to put viewer mail, otherwise I will not find them. The next one here is from Paul, AKA the Silly Sausage. I love this guy's handle. He commented on the YouTube channel the other day, and I said to him, I love that your name is Silly Sausage. That makes me laugh. His name is Silly Sausage. All right, anyway. Hey, John, I just picked up a Soul Calibur 2. That's a great Namco game. I couldn't pass it up for $50. It's pretty much all there except for the power supply. I was wondering if I need a specific power supply or could I use one like one of those basic JAMA ones that you usually see on eBay. Thanks, and I really enjoy all the info on all your videos. I just recently watched your Gyrus restore. Man, that was an awesome game. Yeah, Gyrus is fantastic. I agree. I really do like that game. Unfortunately, it left, but it's really good. I thought about getting a 61 just to have it, but I heard the sound is basically trash on that game. Anywho, thanks again, Paul. I used to play Gyrus on the 61, and I don't remember it sounding too bad, but, you know, the music is a big part of that game, because it's got that, like, Mozart or Bach classical music kind of techno thing going on. All right, so Soul Calibur 2, he's missing the power supply, so... All right, here's what I know about Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 2 is a JAMA game. And actually, I looked up the pinout before I did the show, and all it requires is 5 volts and 12 volts. That's it. So any power supply is going to give you that. Any decent arcade power supply, the HAP power supplies, I usually buy the deluxe HAP one. Any of those, like if you go to twistedquarter.com, they're all going to give you 5 volts and 12 volts, okay? The manual states it should be 150 watts. I don't know if that matters. Usually it's the amperage, right, that matters. I don't know. Just get a decent power supply. The only thing I have to say, though, about this is that those newer games, like the Street Fighters and I think even the Neo Geo, they had like a Peter Chow type power supply in them that outputted 5 and 12 volts, okay? But it looked like a ATX or AT power supply, one that you would see like in a PC, okay? Like a big cube. And like on my Street Fighter, when I turn the power supply off, everything in the cabinet goes off. So everything is going through my power supply, and I don't quite know how it's wired. I never really looked at it, but it's not just a straightforward wire the 5 volts and the 12 volts to the power supply. So that's the only thing I want you to know is that I think, Paul, you need to look at your connection, okay? If there's plugs, right, like that where a power supply should plug into, like an ATX style or Peter Chow style, then you might need to do some further research, okay? Because I don't necessarily know that I'm telling you the truth here, but maybe someone out there watching knows for certain. But I'll tell you this though, if the wires are loose, and you can see that there's little screw terminals, right, where it used to be on some screws in a power supply, then you know you could probably just get a very basic HAP power supply that has the screw terminals. You figure out which wire's 5 volts, which wire's 12 volts, which wire's ground. You put them on the tabs in the right spot and screw them down, and that's it, and then put your voltage in. But if it's one of those power supplies that has the plugs and all the power, like the lights and everything is going through that, then you might need something different. And I don't know where to buy that, probably arcadeshop.com. But just double check that connection. That's all I can tell you. But as far as the power requirements, it's only 5 and 12 volts, so you could definitely hack something in. But if you can avoid the hacking, I would. I've actually never had to deal with a game that new that uses one of those power supplies like the Street Fighter has over there. I've never had to replace it or deal with it or any of that stuff. Brian Teeters says, "Hey John, funny you should mention Radical Bikers in your last video. I was recently given free one by an operator friend of mine and ended up trading it for a mostly working Galaga. That's a pretty good trade. I would do that trade." So it's not a terrible game, but it lasted one arcade party before it went on the trading block. I wish I would have known it was essentially a Mortal Kombat 2, as I might have kept it. That's from Brian. Yeah, so we were doing the Mortal Kombat 2 restored last video, and a lot of the parts my buddy Daniel and George has sent me, he pulled out of a Radical Bikers, because I guess a lot of the Mortal Kombat cabinets that didn't sell, like I think the 4s, maybe the 3s, those were all converted to Radical Bikers, and it's essentially the same cabinet, the same Transformers in there, and the coin door and all that stuff. I think they sold them to Atari, so, but I don't, no, I did play Radical Bikers somewhere. I don't remember where I was. And I think the reason I played it is because I always see them on Craigslist. I don't know what it is. That game's always cheap on Craigslist. But you know what? I think you did the right thing. I would have totally traded that for a Galaga. In a heartbeat. So, All right, the next one here is from Max, and a longer email. Hey John, longtime viewer from the UK here. I love watching your stuff. Your arcade is awesome, and you seem like an amazing guy. I love you so much, and the amount of work and quality you put into your content is astounding. I'm actually a hopeful game designer, and I say hopeful because I'd rather not mention what I'm working on, at least if it all falls apart or is complete crap. Otherwise, you'd have an email from the worst designer that ever existed, which would be nice, I guess. Anyway, enough about me. I've been wondering what your favorite game of all time is, outside of just arcade games. So Though I'd kill for a top 5 outside of Donkey Kong. You know, I've been thinking about doing a top 5 video for like ever, and actually, I started compiling a spreadsheet, right, of the top games of all time, arcade games, and I had criteria and everything, you know, gameplay, you know, modern, today, in 2016, you know, has the gameplay held up, the cabinet, its iconic status, and all that stuff, and I was scoring all these games, and I had a spreadsheet going, and I was kind of coming to the conclusion, based on all this criteria, you know, very scientific. I didn't want to just do it by off the hip. I wanted to actually just sit down and calculate what I thought were the greatest arcade games of all time. And I still plan on doing that video. But anyway, he wants to know about other stuff, though. He'd like to know what my favorites are of the following categories here. So my favorite arcade cabinet. What is that? Boy, I'm leaning towards Discs of Tron. Yeah, I think Discs of Tron is the best arcade cabinet. I really do. Either one, the upright or or the sit-down one. Actually, I had the upright disc of Tron. Do you guys want to see mine? Because I had it a few years ago and I sold it. I actually sold it and went to Disney with my family. So I don't regret selling that because I got some great Disney memories out of that. But here's my disc of Tron. So yes, you can see this is a beautiful game. And I did a pretty okay job restoring this thing. I did a very tasteful light restore and I think it turned out pretty good. But I think that's the best looking cabinet. I actually love the upright and the sit down environmental one is really good. I actually have a video of that I did at Grinkers. My favorite console of all time. I think my favorite console is the Nintendo 64. I really do. I think some of my favorite games of all time are on the Nintendo 64. I mean, just from the minute I got that thing, I was in love with it. You know, Mario 64, come on. When that game came out, I lost myself in Mario 64. GoldenEye. The first, for me, really, like, serious first-person shooter that I really got into. You know, I never really played Doom and all that, and Quake and all that. Not until later, until I got a PC. I got a PC much later than the Nintendo 64, I think. So Nintendo 64 is my favorite, I think, hands down, because of Mario 64, GoldenEye, and then all of the Rare stuff, which, of course, GoldenEye is part of. Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie are my two favorite platformers of all time. I think I put Banjo-Kazooie above Mario 64, and even the oddball Rare stuff, Jet Force Gemini. I loved that game. Wave Race 64, oh my God, I loved that game. Blast Corps, which was an amazing Rare game. I cannot tell you how addicted I was to Blast Corps, okay? So every Rare game on Nintendo 64 was a home run. Nintendo, even Donkey Kong 64 I loved. I know a lot of guys don't like that, but I loved that game. So Nintendo was on, and of course, you know, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, which I think I like Majora's Mask more than Ocarina of Time. There are so many good games on Nintendo 64, and I just love that early 3D stuff more. I think it's more immersive than the 2D stuff before it. I do. I like Nintendo 64 more than the Super Nintendo, more than the NES, and I know that I'm probably different because of that, but I'm telling you, I have way more memories playing those games. Like, I got lost in those games. Favorite PC game of all time? That's tough. Okay, so the games I probably have the most time in on PC, I think Counter-Strike is the game I probably have played the most on the PC. And then after that, it's like Battlefield 1942. But, you know, these days I'm bouncing around. But the games I really spent a lot of time on the PC was like Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty, the World War II one, Medal of Honor even, and Unreal Tournament was amazing, Quake 3. I think my favorite PC game is Counter-Strike. I really do, because I probably played that more than anything else. My favorite console game of all time, I think it's going to be either... Now, this is not Nintendo 64, but I think my favorite console game, it's either Super Mario Sunshine, because that is my favorite Mario game, or it's Wind Waker, which is my favorite Zelda game, both on the GameCube. So if I had to pick one, I think I would pick Super Mario Sunshine. I had just such a great time in that game. I loved it. My favorite level, boy, in any game, the first level of GoldenEye, I can remember that like it was yesterday. And man, there's so many levels in Mario Sunshine. I just think about all the games, those games from that era that I just got lost in. You know, lately, you know, what have I gotten into that just blew me away? I don't know. I love Splatoon on the Wii U. I really did. My favorite boss? Oh, man. This is getting tough here. All right, my favorite boss was at the end of BioShock Infinite. I remember when I beat that game. That was such an accomplishment for me. And there's that crazy level at the end where you're sliding around all over the place on those wires and stuff. My favorite weapon of all time, I think that's the AWP, the AWP. The Arctic Warfare Police Sniper Rifle. Is that what AWP stands for? That's the sniper rifle, the bolt-action sniper rifle in Counter-Strike. That gun is the greatest sniper rifle of all time. Of all time. Absolutely AWP. Greatest soundtrack. Okay. Mirror's Edge. That's actually a soundtrack that I listened to in the car, and all the remixes of that theme song. I love that. I'll tell you, I never got into listening to like video game music in the car. Like I could never put like the Ocarina of Time CD on and listen to that. I just have never gotten into that. The closest I've ever gotten to a video game soundtrack and was truly into it was the Mirror's Edge, just really the theme song, and I had like a gazillion remix versions of it. I used to just listen to that all the time. My favorite most recent game, Rainbow Six Siege, I'm really digging. Let's see, well, Battlefield 1, that beta is amazing. But if you guys want to see me play Battlefield 1, I've been streaming on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv. But I would say my most favorite recent game... God, I really do like Rainbow Six Siege. I think that's just one of the best Rainbow Six games ever. So, yes, all right, Max, that's what I'm going with, okay? That was off the cuff. How did I do? Thank you for reading this, and I wish you the best in life and with the Mortal Kombat. All right, let's do one more from Joel here. I guess I printed 4. Hey, John, longtime viewer here. Like yourself, my favorite game is Donkey Kong. I recently picked up a very beat-up DK off of Craigslist, missing the artwork, no control panel, bad monitor, no marquee, an inch layer of dust, yada, yada, yada. Thanks to you and your videos, I was able to restore the Donkey Kong back to its original glory. I think it turned out pretty decent considering what it was before. All in all, I have about $700 into it, okay? Which seems much cheaper than buying one. You know what, Joel? I'm going to agree with you because these days, listen, I paid $1,000 for my Donkey Kong 8 years ago. Now, I really overpaid. I was stupid and dumb and didn't have any patience. And in hindsight, I now know better, okay? But that's what I paid, okay? And mine was still a project. I had to fix it. And I've told that story a million times. But, you know, to be into a game for $700 like Donkey Kong that's so iconic and so desirable, I think you're okay? Because I think you could do a lot worse. And you know what? You probably could find a $500 Donkey Kong, but you'll be sitting around for 3 years waiting for that to show up. And I'm going to tell you, I know this because I always look for these games. I would grab another Donkey Kong. If I found one cheap, another Nintendo cabinet, I'm jumping on it. I look all the time because I want to do another Nintendo project. I want to do another radar scope. So I've been looking all the time for cheap Nintendo cabinets. They never come up for sale. They really don't. So everyone wants them. So I think you're doing just fine. Anyway, it's not a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but like I said, you could do a lot worse. And if you want to try to save $100, $200, you might be waiting a very long time for that deal to pop up. Anyways, I've included a picture of the restored Donkey Kong. What do you think? Not bad, huh? So, all right, actually, let's show Joel's Donkey Kong right here. So yes, Joel, that looks like a great Donkey Kong. I love it, dude. I just, the artwork, the package, it's everything for me. I love Donkey Kong. I love it, love it, love it. And there's nothing better than a really minty Donkey Kong. So yes, I think it's awesome. He says, thanks again, John. You're a big influence on me and my arcade games. I hope you have a great day. Best wishes, Joel. All right, guys, that's it. So thanks again for all the viewer mail. If you guys want me to read these on the show here, you got to email them to me at blkdog7@gmail.com, blkdog7@gmail.com. So yes, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff. If you made it to the end, you probably subscribed, right? If not, well, how come you're not subscribed? And of course, anytime during the week, well, you guys could say, I was about to do a VGO thing there. And anytime during the week, you guys can send me emails at blkdog7@gmail.com. Of course, check out my podcast, Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com, You Suck Show at yousuckshow.com, and Arcade Outsiders at arcadeoutsiders.com. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you very soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Later, and bye.